Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the New Balance Kawhi II. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box. This is the new money colorway, which I think looks awesome, especially with this gold external heel counter. There also is another colorway available. It's like an all white colorway with a few black accents, which also looks great. It's going for 160 bucks. So again, links are below, but let's get it started right off with the Tracciones. And in this colorway, we have a translucent rubber outsole right here in the forefoot and also here in the heel. In the middle of the outsole, we have like a solid rubber outsole with this. It's like a really cool green, like a gray green color, of similar to the $100 bill, which of course this colorway is called the New Money colorway, which is inspired by the new $100 bill. But anyways, how does the traction perform? So on a clean court, it performs pretty damn good, but you do need to break it in. So for the first couple of days, like I would say like 2 to 3 days while I was playing in it, it wasn't great, right? Even on a pretty clean court. So I was very disappointed at first, but after a couple of days, it did start to bite very well, and like when it was a pretty clean surface, I had a great time. How does it perform on dust though? It performs okay, right? So it does pick up dust pretty quickly, although it is a very easy wipe. It's just a very easy like 1 or 2 wipes and you're good to go. It's clean, but it picks up dust pretty quickly again. And also, if you forget to wipe, you do slide out a little bit, like not crazy where it's dangerous, but you do slide out a good amount, which is kind of annoying. So I really did need to keep up my wipes, but if I did, I really didn't have any issues with the performance on dust. And then as far as the durability goes, you should be fine, right? So the rubber is super hard, the grooves are deep and also very thick. So you should be fine if you're playing on an outdoor court. It seems like a very durable outsole. So overall, the traction performance was good. It was just kind of annoying on a dusty setting. I wish it performed a little bit better just because I have shoes like the Zoom Separate, the PG6, and the Harden Volume 6, which I was playing in with kind of like the Kawhi II, interchanging them. And the Kawhi II definitely didn't perform as well as those shoes on a dusty setting. Alright, moving on to the heel to toe transition. It's overall pretty smooth. So here in the heel, we have a very nice curve shape. It's a super rounded shape actually, which I like, but it's very caged. As you guys can see, the heel counter cages this foam a lot, and also the outsole does come up the cage. So we have only like a centimeter of foam exposed, so there's not a whole lot of compression here from the midsole, but like I said, the shape is very nice. So it's not super clunky or anything here in the heel. I just wish it was a little bit softer, right, as far as the foam goes. And then here in the forefoot, we have a very nice curve shape and a lot of forefoot flex. Look at that. So heel to toe transition is very smooth even when you're doing heel dominant strides running down the court. Also, torsional support is good because we have a midfoot shank plate, and as you guys can see, it does extend all the way here into, I guess, like your big toe, right? But it still has a lot of forefoot flex, which I like. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. So we have full length fuel cell, and fuel cell is super nice. It's soft, it has a lot of compression, and there actually is a good amount of rebound back, right? Like for example in the Omnis. But here in the Kawhi II, I was kind of disappointed, right? So here in the heel, like I mentioned, it's very caged, and there's really no compression in the midsole here, right? So it's pretty damn stiff, and also here in the forefoot is pretty damn stiff. Step in comfort also isn't the best, so the insole isn't great. I mean, at first it was alright. It felt like kind of cozy. It just feels like a regular Ortholite insole, but now that I feel it, it's pretty dead now. It feels bottomed out, and also the strobe board is pretty stiff. So step in comfort isn't very nice, right? It just feels pretty stiff, like right underneath your foot. So overall, this cushioning setup is stiff. It's not soft, right? There's no compression, especially from the midsole. There's really no bounce at all. Impact protection also isn't great. If you're doing heel strikes, it's gonna hurt. If you're landing on your forefoot, it also hurts. So impact protection wasn't great. It's low to the ground though. I guess that's a good thing, right? So here in the forefoot, you're low to the ground. Here in the heel, also you're low to the ground. So good court feel, and I guess good responsiveness, but yeah, cushioning setup, I was pretty disappointed in actually. Moving on to the material, so we have Fit Weave Light pretty much throughout this entire upper, and here in the toe box, look at how thin it is. It's extremely thin, it conforms to your foot very, very well, but also it's very supportive. It doesn't stretch really at all, and we have this strip of fuse or synthetic material going around the tip of the toe for extra added durability and support, which feels very, very nice. And then here in the midfoot, it stays extremely thin, as you guys can see. Moving here into the tongue, we have very minimal padding actually, and also it is a half booty construction tongue, which gives you an overall better one-to-one fit. And also it's a very large tongue as well. Look at that. So it goes over the top of your foot. And here in the ankle area, we also have very minimal padding. So overall, as far as the quality goes, the quality is also pretty damn nice. I love how it feels. Like, nothing feels super cheap, even though it is a really thin material, right? It's hard to make a very thin material feel quality, you know what I mean? But they did it pretty well here in the Kawhi II. If you're looking for a material that has a lot of padding and something that feels really cozy, the Kawhi II definitely isn't the best option. But if you're looking for a material that feels really thin, very minimal, and conforms to your foot very well, then the Fit Weave Light is the material for you. Alright, moving on to the fit. So I went true to size and it fits me very, very well. So here in the toe box, it's very, very snug and I can barely curl my toes up. And I would say the fit is very similar to when I first got it. This material doesn't stretch out all too much. You know, like mesh or knit materials, they tend to stretch out a little bit over time once you keep playing it. But for some reason, this Fit Weave Light material didn't stretch out all too much. So the fit didn't loosen up all too much, which of course I don't really mind. I like to have a very snug fit. Also, as far as the width goes, I would say it's slightly narrow, and also my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe when I went true to size, so it fits me very, very well. If you have a wide foot or you want a roomier fit, I would suggest going maybe up like a full size, just because it's a very, very snug fit. For most people, I would suggest just going true to size, but like I said, just be careful because it is a very snug fit. Alright, moving on to the support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, I was good to go. So like I mentioned before, we have this synthetic material that does extend all the way here into the lateral side for extra support. And also we have this outsole coming up acting as a sidewall as well. You know, it is a part of the outsole. It's actually not the midsole, which I thought it was at first. And then here in the heel, the external heel counter, like this heel counter doesn't really act that much as a sidewall. It doesn't come up that much, but we do have an internal TPU heel counter, it feels like. So lateral containment was good. You know, I had no issues with my foot sliding out of the footbed at all, but lateral stability was something that I did have an issue with, right? So here in the heel, as you guys can see, it's a very, very rounded shape, right? Especially here on the lateral side of the shoe. And you don't want this to be unstable, because when you're running, it just doesn't feel very stable to me, right? And also I did roll my ankle pretty bad in the shoe as well. I mean, I wouldn't say it's because of this shoe. It probably would have happened to me if I was wearing another shoe. Like someone fouled me pretty hard and I kind of like tripped and like I rolled my ankle pretty bad and I was out for a couple of days. So it's probably not the fault of this shoe and the design of this shoe, right? But it was always in the back of my mind that it just didn't feel 100% stable, especially when I was just kind of like running, like doing heel dominant strides. So I definitely do wish they would have had the outsole maybe extend a little bit. I don't know, but that definitely did annoy me and it was always in the back of my mind. Like when I'm playing ball, I don't want to worry about my shoe. I want to worry about like, well, what play I'm going to do or what move I'm going to do or whatever, right? Instead of worrying about like, oh, I got to be careful, you know? So there is that. And also as far as the ankle support goes, ankle support really isn't very good. It definitely just felt like a low top shoe. You know, I had very good ankle mobility, which is good for me. You know, I don't like to have a restriction in my ankle mobility. So of course I liked it, but if you want ankle support, the Kawhi II does not give good ankle support. Although, like as you guys can see, it is pretty much a mid top or high top and it does cover the ankle bone. Ankle support was not good in this shoe. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. If I remember correctly, it's like 12 ounces. Yeah, 11.5 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 11.42 ounces. So basically like 11.5, right? And that definitely is lighter than average. And this shoe feels really light and very minimal, right? So like I mentioned, this material feels extremely thin. There's very minimal padding on this upper as well. And it's a responsive shoe, you know, cushions really responsive. Support's good, it fits me very well. Lockdown was great. It's just the traction could have been better on a dusty court, but if I kept up with my wipes or I was playing on a clean court, I really had no problems with the shoe. I felt very light on my feet and very, very responsive. All right, moving on to the ventilation. Ventilation is all right, you know, so there's really no ventilation holes and there's not a whole lot of airflow through this fit weave light material. Maybe just a tiny bit, but not like crazy. But like I said, this material is super thin, so it doesn't keep in that much heat. So ventilation overall is just okay. Moving on to the aesthetics, I love it. This colorway looks great. You know, it's just like, it's inspired by the $100 bill. It says 100 here in the $100 bill like font. And I love this gold, and this color is also really, really cool. It's like a green, blue / gray color, you know? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, it's an overall solid shoe, but I definitely wouldn't say it's my favorite, right? So there are 3 things that I feel like could have been a little bit better. So the traction on dust, I wish was better, right? But maybe it's because it was a translucent outsole, right, on this colorway. Maybe if I tried a solid rubber option, it would be a little bit better on dust, but of course, we have yet to see on that. And also, the cushion could have been a lot better. I was pretty disappointed in the Kawhi II. And then, of course, the lateral instability. Right, so all those are pretty minor things. I mean, if you're a guard and you're looking for a very minimal shoe, this is a great option. And also, if you're a bigger guy and you want a very lightweight and very minimal shoe, which this shoe is, but also it's a very supportive shoe, you should also be fine with it, right? Just keep in mind the 3 things that I mentioned. I definitely do think there are better options out there. So will this shoe be in my rotation? Probably not. Maybe very, very loosely in my rotation. It's not gonna be in my wall of awesomeness. The shoes here, right, and also right there, these are like my top shoes, and also I have some shoes right there. I just don't have space to put it there, you know. These aren't gonna go there, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean this shoe is terrible or anything. It's just, in my opinion, there are better options, and also for a better price. $160 is pretty expensive, right? But anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the New Balance Kawhi II. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave in the affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.